Hi guys, it's Maggie here, and today we're going to be talking about how to get ostomy supplies. Tends to be one of those things that you forget about until you're leaving the hospital and you think, hey, I've never seen a box of ostomy supplies in the grocery store, not even Walmart. This video is basically going to summarize how people get ostomy supplies because no, they don't sell them in stores, sadly. There are a few different places that you can get ostomy supplies, the main one being through large medical supply companies. They often will have you order either online or over the phone with a magazine. They send out catalogs basically of all their products, and that is how you order. You can also go to your local pharmacy. Most pharmacies do actually sell ostomy supplies. You might not know it, but always good to ask because some do sell them. So I've done that before, and I've done the online catalog one, which I will talk about later. One thing we don't think about with a plastic bag is that they require prescriptions most of the time. Most of the time, star that because it's not always true. When you go to the big medical supply company or you go to the pharmacy and you give them your insurance card to get ostomy supplies, that is when you need your prescription, because basically insurance companies don't want you buying ostomy supplies with that money where they're covering, a portion of it or all of it, and then you going and selling it because you don't actually have an ostomy. So that is why when you're using your insurance card, you usually have to have a prescription for the supplies. There is an option, however, if you're paying out of pocket. There is a website called stomabags.com, that's one of them, where you can buy ostomy supplies totally out of pocket. And I contacted them just because I was curious, and they said that they don't require prescriptions for their ostomy supplies. So it is something that if that's the way you're going, I know there's a small portion of people that do that, you can buy ostomy supplies just outright. Some people also, which somebody commented this, and I'm trying to think of the term that they used. I want to say that they said booster bags, which I love. That's so great. People will buy booster bags, basically a little extra supply out of pocket because they only get, so many bags via their insurance. So they'll buy a few extra supplies just in case their needs aren't being met by what their insurance covers. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. And I love that term. Thank you for whoever wrote that. I'm so sorry. I can't remember who put that in. I think it was on Facebook, and it made me chuckle. Now, there are a few different ways that you can get the prescription. Your doctor and your supply company can get in contact with each other. I believe my company usually calls my doctor to confirm a prescription, and that kind of works itself out. It's like behind the scenes. I don't even see it. I don't have to do anything. I give them the phone number for my doctor, and they called and said, hey, does Maggie have a prescription for ostomy supplies? Do you approve it? Yes, I do. I do approve it. And that's how it happens. I have also gotten prescription sheets, like, how you would go to the pharmacy to get medication. I've gotten those for ostomy supplies, and I think it was because I may have been my GI's first or one of few patients who has an ostomy, maybe. I go to a small town GI doctor now. So I literally got a prescription sheet, and it worked because I brought it to a pharmacy one time when I was running out of supplies and needed a quick box, and it worked. But that is also a way that people can get their prescription. One thing that most hospitals, I'm going to put most and underline it because I don't want to guarantee it for you, but most hospitals have somebody called a case manager whose job it is to figure out the logistics of you getting your supplies. So they will find a company, they will figure out what supplies have been working for you in the hospital, they'll tell the company, here's the insurance, will you cover, do you take this insurance? They'll figure out if your insurance is going to approve the ostomy supplies and get everybody in touch so that way you have ostomy supplies when you go home. Usually they try and have them delivered either day of discharge or the day after you're home. Case managers just figure out all the hard stuff, which is really great. They are wonderful. They figure out all the hard stuff that's very confusing to somebody who has never ordered medical supplies before. And they straighten it all up for you, so you definitely have your bags when you go home. Sometimes the deliveries don't always match up with when you're going home, so hospitals will often give you supplies to take home with you, just to ensure that if there is a delay between when you get home and when the supplies can be delivered, they make sure that you actually have ostomy supplies in hand, so you're not going without for a while. There are a few different medical supply companies out there, and I was going through the comments because I believe in my original question that I posted on Facebook and Instagram, I asked what brands you use, and I realized that there are people from all over that watch these videos. So I was like, I don't know if I can put all of the companies, but I at least can tell you about my personal experiences, and then if anybody wants to share what country they're from and what supply company they use, that would be great. You can kind of describe what you like about them, and if you post it below, maybe somebody else will find it and say, hey, maybe I'll use them. But I will tell you about the two that I have experience with. I have used Edgepark, which I know a lot of people have used, and I don't know how long I really used them for. I don't remember a whole lot about them, to be perfectly honest, because I switched over pretty early on in my ostomy career. Because I think this is why I switched over to McKesson. I actually lived a town over from where their supplier, or not their supplier, but their warehouse was. And it was really convenient to call them up and say, hey, I need a new order of supplies, and go 15 minutes away and pick them up and have them that day. There was no delay. If I needed supplies right away, I could get them. And that's why I think I switched. I don't remember any other reason. So I've been using McKesson for a long time, and I've really liked them. I think that they're just very convenient. They have an online reorder form where you can say, I'm so-and-so, here's my information with your company because we've worked together before, and I would just like the last thing that you sent to me sent again. And that's what I always do. But they do have a phone number that you can call and talk to somebody. A lot of these companies have a representative that will help recommend supplies, and it just helps you with any situation that you need. I think the reason I got the bags that I wear now, I had talked to somebody at McKesson and was basically saying I wanted a bag that was smaller that I could wear on the beach. If you look back, one of my videos that I did was a duct tape video years and years ago. I put zebra duct tape on my bag, and it was like a little square thing, and that was something that McKesson had recommended to me. And I didn't wind up using those, but I wound up finding this bag because of that bag. It opened up a whole new world of the non-drainable bags to me. And here I am, years later, still using this bag. So they're very helpful. They have a lot of experience with the supplies because they're handling them every day. They get to see the whole array of things, and they're just very helpful. Always good to ask, call in, speak to somebody from their company that knows about the supplies. One thing to keep in mind is that if you are ordering from a company and having things delivered to your house, to give yourself a few days for delivery. I also like McKesson because I order and I get the supplies 2 or 3 days later, but that's not how it works with every company. It can take a little while for them to ship it to you. So you want to make sure that you have enough supplies to get you to your next shipment. So just keep that in mind. One thing that I like to recommend to people with new ostomies is to literally Google ostomy supplies. You will find companies all over. There are so many companies that make ostomy bags that you don't even realize. We all know about Compotech, Hollister, Coloplast, and I think that Salt Healthcare and New Hope, and what else? There's a few others that are like really rising in the, you know, the system of ostomy bags. Such a bad term. Guys, I filmed this so many times, I forget what I've mentioned and what I don't, so I apologize. But there are so many companies that have ostomy supplies. It's always great to contact them and see if they have free samples to send you. A lot of companies do that. A lot do that. And you'll be surprised how some of these companies do their free samples, because some will send you boxes, like so much. It's pretty cool. But you can always get free samples that way, and you can try out an array of products and see what works best for you. So that is basically how ostomy supplies work, how you get them, where you get them from. I hope this made sense. I'm looking back at everything I said and I'm like, I don't know. Hopefully this will be helpful to somebody though. That is my hope. But I hope you guys have a great day. It's kind of rainy here, if you can see out the window. Not the best day for hanging outside, but hopefully you're enjoying the day anyway. And I will talk to you guys soon. If you have any questions or comments, put them below. I need to set a day aside for me to just answer all the comments and stuff. But yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.